If you may have read the psychoanalysis theory of Sigmund Freud, you will believe that our behavior is molded through our sexual desires or the repressed emotions. Or if you are a student of biology, then you may believe that our behavior or consciousness is formed through our genes and hereditary. But now as we are studying Marxism, we have to look our life or our consciousness through the lens of Marxism. In our previous lectures, we have discussed the theories of hegemony, ideological state apparatus, or other theories that talks about how the ideology of the ruling class is placed in us through different sources such as education, advertisements, etc. Here in this video, we are going to discuss some other aspects of Marxism that we should remember as an English literature student. Before beginning, I encourage you to watch all the previous videos on Marxism as a literary theory in English literature. I have created a separate playlist on this particular topic and you can check the link in the description below. So now without any further delay, let's begin this topic. So Karl Marx did not say that it is the repressed emotions or the genes which forms our behavior or consciousness, but it is rather the social production of materials that form our behavior. For instance, the consciousness or behavior of a computer science engineer sitting at his office in the comfort of air condition will have entirely different kind of behavior than that of a farmer who works in a field. The dreams and desires of an engineer or a farmer both are different, and how these two achieve their dreams will also be different. Now if an engineer leaves his occupation and start doing farming, then within a couple of months his behavior will not remain like that of an engineer. Rather, his behavior or consciousness will resemble like of a farmer. So according to Marxism, it is the social production of materials that forms our behavior. In the preface to a contribution to the critique of political economy, Karl Marx writes, "The mode of production of material life conditions the general process of social, political, and intellectual life. It is not the consciousness of men that determines their existence, but their social existence that determines their consciousness." So according to the statement we have read, we have to understand that it is the mode of production that forms the behavior of every individual in the society depending on the location or the profession he chooses. Now elaborating further, we need a class system to thrive a society. For instance, in modern capitalist society, workers produce the surplus, which is controlled by capitalists. In the same way, in slave societies, slaves produce the surplus, which is then controlled by the slave owners. Similarly, in feudal societies, peasants produce the surplus, which is then controlled by feudal lords. It is these relations of productions that define the society. According to Marxism, with every technological development comes a new class system. For instance, with the industrialization came the bourgeoisie class and working class. And with this new class system came the new consciousness. We cannot stop the technological process, as the technological development satisfies our material needs. Technological developments take care of our comfort. We need mobile phones, computers, air conditions to make our life comfortable. So the technological development cannot be stopped. And now if the technological development cannot be stopped, we cannot also stop the evolution of class system. So in the 12th, 13th or 14th century, we have feudal system. And this system was evolved throughout the centuries to form the modern capitalism. So the transition from feudal society to capitalism is not a straightforward road. So experts have different opinions of this transition from feudal society to modern capitalism. So for now, I will give you a brief outline on how new feudal society was broke away and modern capitalism made its way. So it should be remembered that in the feudal society, peasants used to produce the surplus. They used to work as a bonded labor in return of piece of land. These peasants used to work a whole day long and the profits will go to the feudal lords. And now if you have read the British literature, you must be remembering of Peasant Revolt of 1381. This Peasant Revolt of 14th century broke away the feudal society and laid the foundation of social economy. In fact, there were many questions from this particular topic of Peasant Revolt in the UGC NET examination. So there was a question that who led the Peasant Revolt of 1381? The answer to this question was Wat Tyler. So now let's try to understand the roots of this Peasant Revolt of 1381. As we know, during the pandemic of 1348, which is popularly known as the Black Death, there were many people who were died. And among the death of these peoples, majority were the peasants and laborers. And due to this, there were shortage of the laborers in the society. So this peasant revolt was the first attempt to fix maximum wages for the peasants. Earlier peasants were working as a bonded labor, but now they demanded fixed wages, and due to this, new type of modern economy established. Now the laborers and peasants started getting salary for their work. But what happened was the urban society was providing more opportunities and wages to these people as compared to rural areas. So people started migrating from rural to urban areas in search of better options. And at the same time, the urban people needs more comfort in their life. They need more products and more commodities. And due to this, the demand of commodity increased. So now the new methods of productions and products were introduced in the society. The earlier feudal society was unable to hold this change of society. And by the capitalist mode of society started taking place. As I mentioned, there is a long history of the evolution of capitalism, and it was not a straightforward road. Depending on the knowledge of economics, people have different views. However, from examination point of view, it is enough for you to understand this much of the information. For in-depth study of the transition of feudal society from capitalist society, I suggest you to take the guidance from the teacher of economics. For now, that's it for this video. I hope you found the video worth your time. Also, if you're new to this channel and have not subscribed to this channel yet, then don't forget to subscribe the channel for more updates on English literature. So that's it for this video. Thank you.